Motor Mind. Hey folks, Motor Mind here. So today I'm working on the 2005 Freelander again. It's actually failed. It's the inspection on the right front lower control arm slash wishbone, lower wishbone, and also CV boot. So we'll be doing that and replacing that. I'll show you how. Okay, so the first thing I've done obviously is jack the vehicle up, and we put it on jack stands, and we've shook it, made sure it's secure. All right. So what I'm going to do is going to remove the wheel on the side. Use the old DeWalt, and to get access. So we're doing the lower track rod end, not track rod, the lower suspension arm slash control arm slash wishbone, depending where you're from. We're also doing the outer CV boot on the CV boot split. Honestly, it's been like that for a while, but it's been like a little pinhole. This last MOT, I took it to a different place and they failed it. If you look, it's probably actually not all that bad. I did have a look, but we'll have a quick look. Let's get the wheel off and we'll see. Alright, so this is the offending CV boot. Let's stick some light on there and see. And apparently this is split. Normally if they're split, they'll have loads of grease kind of where they are. You really don't see this much, but the fella has claimed has been done. I know it has a little pinhole in it, but I don't see where it's split. So that's just, and also this is the lower control arm. As you can see there, it has actually got corrosion. Where is it? Sorry. Let's see, I can bring it to, where is it here? It is right there. Is it? Oh, no. Where is it? There it is. Sorry. So it's corroded there. So that's failed, because obviously it's structurally not sound anymore. So we will, we're replacing this and replacing that, wherever it's split. I may have left it in gear. Alright, not a big deal. I'll show you how to do all that. Okay. Hey folks, don't forget to click that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. Okay, so the first thing I do, I'm going to take the brake caliper off. And we're going to try to take it right off of the carrier back here. Try to keep all this together, don't need to take it apart. And we will just sling it up. Should reach, let's take that out. It'll reach for hanging up onto here, support it. Don't want to have it hanging on the rubber hoses because you'll damage the hoses and then you can end up with leaks. So we'll do that. And then we'll, and the next thing is probably take out the axle nut. Get that out, and then we're going to take the lower control arm off the steering knuckle there, drop that down, then we can pull this out of the way, because taking the control arm out anyways, so then we're going to have to do that. There's a bolt there, and then my control arm doesn't come with this here, so I'll see if I can slide that out. If not, I'll take this off. I'll have to bang that off, and we'll have to put that back on, because they actually do come separate. These do come off, so we will hopefully get that off, and then once you get all this out of the way, and this will kind of move the shaft out of the way, then we can get to doing the boot. And we're going to try to do the boot in situ on the vehicle. If not, if that's just not going to happen, then we can take the whole shaft off, take the whole shaft out, and we can do it on the ground. But I prefer to do it on here because it'll kind of help hold it. So, all right, let's get started here. So the first thing we'll do is take the caliper off. Do that. There's a bolt here, a bolt down there. If you see my previous video, I did the brakes on this, they're the same ones, so we'll get those off. Alright, so caliper's off with the carrier attached still. Obviously, you can take it all off, and I've supported it with this bungee up with a spring, so it's up and away, out of the way, and it's that way the rubber hose and everything doesn't have strain on it anymore than it actually needs to have. So I got that off. That there should be fine. It's going to have movement in it, so I can allow that to move around, that's fine. So the next thing I do is I need to get the I might I need to take this off or not. Don't think I need to. Okay, I'm just gonna take that off. So we're gonna use get the old impact on there. And I haven't done this before because before I had the DeWalt, I didn't have anything that could take this off. So let's hope the DeWalt's got the power to do it. Let's see. Well, quite honestly, that was a lot easier. I thought it was going to be legit. When I tried to take this off a couple years ago, I had a big breaker bar on it. I was jumping up and down on it. I couldn't shift it. The DeWalt didn't even break a sweat. Came right off and just pushed it straight out. Let's move back a bit. I've actually pushed it back. So there's enough there. And you see, take the lower ball joint off, and then this whole unit will come out. So you get these guys off. 21mm socket spanner, sorry, on there, and just give it a good pull, and it should undo. Hopefully, it does not turn into the ball joint and socket. I don't think it is, because normally it's kind of tapered, so it fits into the lower, into the steering knuckle. It shouldn't be spinning, and the ball joint is off. So just kind of going over it, because you see we'll have access in there. So this or even a ratchet spanner. But I think there's not enough room in there for ratchet spanner, so I think you see those box end of these. Just a word of caution: when you get to a point where you can't, you have to make sure you can get your box end out. You'll get to the point that you'll have to use the open end, because or else it gets trapped. So just a little tip there, in case some people get trapped in. If it does get trapped in there, then all you gotta do is just back off. Just use a box end, because you'll be able to. If you can do it up, you can undo it. You can do it up, and just go back until you can get the end, close end of your wrench out. So, and then just continue on with the box end. And get to a point where you can kind of get your fingers in there. Depends on the corrosion. I've stuck some NTCs on there, some stuff to loosen it off. So, yeah, unfortunately, this is kind of the best way I've always found get these out. And I think Land Rovers use this kind of setup for, on the new Ranges and everything. So they use a very similar setup. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's just to let you know, and I kind of suspected this, but I was just hoping for the best, is that to get that bolt out, you have to take this thing down. You need to drop it down. I'm hoping to just drop it down and take the whole stupid thing off, because it's a one piece. It goes all the way along the front, but there's a couple right there. Take this down. I'm hoping I can take this down. If not, I'm gonna have to keep going until I get it off. So maybe they bumper skin off or drop it down. So I think this is the rad support, but we will see. So yeah, you need to take at least. I'm going to try to take these two out here. If not, then we'll just keep going with it until I can get access or I can get this bolt out. All right, so I was able to get this up. Got the bolts out. I was able to push that up, and that's the guy there had to come out. So come on there. On the back here, you see there's actually a bolt on there, so I get that off, and then that should drop down, slide out. I also need to kind of get the lower ball joint out. So because I'm replacing this anyways, it normally works anyways, and it's gonna take a hammer, drive that down. That should pop out of there. Get that nut out of there, and then we can undo the back part there, and that should just hammer that right out. Hammer off this way here, and it drops down, and we can get that out. If that doesn't work, then we'll take that off there, and then hammer that off and hammer it on. I'll mark it, and then. But I'll try to do it without. See if that works. Actually, I suppose even marking it's not going to work, because what's the point? We'll see. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll see how she goes. Alright folks, so I finally got that off. That bushing, it was much more difficult than I thought. I had to make some modifications to this. As in, I had to cut that off there, and then I had to drive this out from the back. And this way to drive it that way, because I actually started deforming that and bending it over using the hammer. I did try to go to a shop and see if I could use a hydraulic press, but they wanted me to wait for hours, like leave it there, and then they had this convinced that it wouldn't actually come off. But I decided to come home, use my angle grinder, cut off wheel, and yeah, I was able to get it. It fought, but that's the way. So I'll show you. Here's a new arm that goes on there. There's threads here, obviously, with the plate goes on there, bolt goes on, bolted on. Not gonna lie, let's see how this goes, because I think this is past demo too. But that one there is a pain to get off. This see here, it literally slides right on there. That is right. I mean, it's all in there, and this is going straight on there. I know there's like, it does bolt on. It's not like being held on just by pressure. And there's a plate that goes over top of here. So maybe it was just all years of grime. I think that was original OEM from 2005. And so we're talking 17, 18 years. So yeah, wish me luck on that. But yeah, I got it off. Was a pain in the arse. You can buy the whole unit together. Comes together with everything. It's a lot more expensive. I've seen on eBay. It is about, almost double the price. Or you can buy just these off eBay, about £40. Or you can go to like your local parts store, and they do sell them there. About the same price-ish. So yeah, we'll get this on there. I will see how that goes once I get it on. I'll see how it feels once it's all bolted up, and go from there. So there's nothing else. Worst case scenario, we get through this MOT. If we're not happy with that, then 40 quid. I'll replace that. And it's how loose it is, I'll literally just slide it off and slide it back on. I only have to take this off the car because it'll just be okay. Alright, so we'll crack on that, and we'll get onto the CV boot as well. Alright, so I'm going to jump on the CV boot here before I put the lower control arm back on. Let's get this bad boy out. Just going to have to use two hands here, pull it out. Alright, so the only thing I can see where they maybe failed this on is the fact that my little strap around here was actually broken. I think, even though full disclosure, I do know there is a little pinhole in this, but I still don't see how they would have seen that and failed it. It wasn't leaking that much. But you know what I'm going to do anyways, to have a new one, I'm going to stick it on, because if I don't, and they failed at first, it was leaking. And really, it could have done, I've done this in the past, is it could have stuck a new strap around here. Fully, I've done is, if I hadn't have one that goes around, the proper ones, big ass zip tie, put it around there, crank it on hard, the nice thick ones, and you never have the problem. It'll do the same thing, and it'll get through. And I've had them hold for ages. So we're going to take this off. I'm going to put a new one on. I have the cone. I don't know, some of these I have to get in here and look and see. Some will actually come off. You can actually tap into here, onto the, not onto the cage, don't tap on that, but right on, this is a solid metal part. You get a like a drift, push it on there, tap it off. This whole unit will just pop off, take the boot off, put new boot on, and then just taking this, you can just drive that back on. So that is also an option. And I'm just trying to see if I can feel it. Sometimes you can feel there'd be like a little you can feel the ridge, because some are like one piece, or you'll feel like a circlip. Yeah, I don't feel a circlip, I do feel the ridge. I might just try that, just because, you know, using the cone is a bit of a pain in the ass, especially with that vise. And if I can just take that off and tap it back on, then jobs are good, and it makes life a lot easier. So we'll try that and see. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to take the CV shaft out. This will, I think, make it a little easier for me. So how you want to do that, anybody doesn't know, to get something like a pry bar. This guy here works. What you want to do is you want to stick it up just in there, right between the shaft and the housing, and you just want to wiggle it back and forth. Just keep prying and just keep going back and forth until eventually it will pop out. And you will lose some gearbox fluid. That is the only bad thing. I'm going to get a container for that. I kind of knew that. So hold on here. I knew that. So yeah, clean container underneath there, because you're going to lose some gearbox fluid. And then, and again, like so. Don't hit your bucket. There. Didn't lose a lot, but I just don't want to have anything up on the ground. So it's only a little dribble. So sometimes you'll lose more depending on the vehicle and the angle that your gearbox is at. So now we'll get on to the drive shaft now. Show you what I mean. I have an old, knackered old extension. Getting there, and you'll see how this comes off. Just tapped on there, doesn't do anything. Especially with the drift. This little tippity tap comes straight off. I did buy, if anybody's curious, if they don't want to do it that way, I'll show you the special tool. I did actually buy the proper CV boot cone. You can use these. The only thing I find is you have to try stretch over top. It's a pain in the arse. If you have it in like in a vise, it's a lot easier because you can drive behind it. I do recommend what I found really worked really well. But the CV boot on is using like dishwashing liquid. Coat that in dishwashing liquids to make it really slippery, and then you'll find that the CV. I always found the CV boots going on a lot easier. I've tried like different like penetrant fluids, different kind of grease and oils and stuff like that. I always found that the best thing I've always had that worked for me was always just dishwashing liquid. Let's coat that, and you'll find it goes straight on. That's easy. So this always worked for me. It's always been best, and it hasn't caused any damage or anything like that to rubber and stuff like that. Washes right off. So yeah, but doing it that way there, the way I've just done it, walking around a little bit with the camera, is taking that off there is the easiest way if you can if you're able to do it. So I'll just tippity tap this off, and then we'll stick her back on. And another idea is just to use something like so. You want to just put a little mark or something. Just to kind of orient yourself. I don't have. If you have something like whiteout or marker fluid that works, I don't think I have any right now. If I do, I'll stick it on. Alright, just a quick little tip here. I think the camera will actually work for me. Oh, the other way. It's alright. Is these guys here, you want to get it off, just flathead screwdriver, pop it up, and it just undoes these guys here, and then it just unrolls off. This will probably should come with some new ones. If not, you got zip ties work. Alright, so this is what you get in the kit. You get CV boot, axle grease, and then this came with the straps. So. And there's a little special, you can use side cutters, or I have like a special clampy that goes on there and clamps them, so, and then tightens them up. So I gotta get that. Now you can if you want, I'll probably do it, it's just clean this out a bit, wipe out the air a bit. That grease, if it had been like split, if this had been properly split, all of this would have been either watered down or even washed out, so that's where you want to get lots of grease. Mine really wasn't. I think the guy who called it was being a little bit overcautious. There's still plenty of grease in there, and it really wasn't throwing any out. But I said, well, we'll replace it anyways. I happen to have it because I did know there's a little pinhole in this somewhere here, and it was leaking a little bit. I put some silicone on it, and I think it actually had helped. But yeah, you know, it's I could have probably got away with just putting something on there to strap it up and call it good. But then you can get into arguments. Then you get like a tester who says you haven't replaced that, and I called it replaced, and then you have to turn around and say, well, it's not leaking though, look at it, it's not leaking at all, you can't prove it is, time a test. It's up to you if you want to get into arguments or not, but this is going to be a two-handed job, so let's get a second here. Okay, so got it on. You see they're all cinched up. That's the special little pliers I have. They go on the end, they go onto that thing there, and they go squeeze and squeeze it together. And they're really just going to take it. Shouldn't do this, but so that in here. I like to just make sure these are all pushed down nice and flat and flush. Okay. And then I usually just try to give them a good pull, twist, make sure that they're tight. And then you're good to go. So now it's just this end here, a little wipe. Sorry. Still working on my camera work. So I give this end here, the rag, clean part of the rag at least. Try to give it a little bit of a wipe here. Just because I don't want anything going into any dirt or dust and crap going into the gearbox. And then this, you put it in, you drive it in there, and then this guy give it a good shove, boom, and it'll click, it should click in, and it should go flush. So I'll get that in now. It's just a matter of building this all back up now. Alright, so what we've done here, we've got the other control arm in. Whatever you call it, suspension arm, wishbone, whatever. So first thing I did is I offered it up, got this bolt in first, and just offered it up, got it straight in. So just got that in, just got them in, just kind of pushed up in there, and I got this guy. It's all kind of loose, so you can tighten it all up. You best tighten them up, especially the ones like this here and that one there. Put weight, put everything up, do them up mostly tight, but don't tighten it all the way. Put the weight on the vehicle, wheel on, stuff like that. Then snug these up as tight as you can. And what you'll do is you'll set the bushings, or else what happens if you set it and everything's down like this, you're going to set the bushing in neutral there, and it's going to twist. Right? You want to have it where it's where the vehicle sits normal, and then the bushing and the rubber can flex up and down as it should. So you always want to kind of put the weight on the vehicle, either put a jack underneath, lift the vehicle up slightly, whatever you want to do, have the weight to the vehicle that do up these rubber bushings, and that way you have them set where they need to be, and you won't have any squeaks and stuff like that down the road, because it'll cause squeaks and stuff like that, and it'll prematurely wear these rubber bushings, because they're sitting in a twisted state at all time, and then as the suspension is flexing, it's even twisting up more. So just a little pro tip. This guy here doesn't really matter that much, because it's gonna you might have to, when you do this up tight, you might have to put pressure underneath here anyways, just to hold it up, to kind of press it into the knuckle, because the knuckle's fatter at the bottom, thinner at the top. You need to kind of press the pressure in a bit, or else it happens to be turning this, and it'll just be spinning inside the ball joint here, which is a ball instead of like a cup. And sometimes it'll spin, not always, but sometimes you have a problem. And these are also lock nuts. They got a little bit of you can see here the blue, that's like a little bit of polyurethane, and that helps to lock them on. So like instead of having a pin, instead of having a castle nut and having a cotter pin, it uses that. These are supposed to be one time use only, so you're not supposed to use them again. If you take it off, you got to replace the nut, because it sets that polyurethane. Alright folks, that's all in there now. That's tightened up. I just put the jack underneath here, jacked this up till I had the just off the jack stands a little bit and had the weight on it. Tighten that up there. Tighten this guy up here. That's looking good there. Blur ball joints on. That's tightened up. Once you want these up, you want to push this down back in. It stops the bolt from backing off again. So you can use a chisel or a center punch guide that I used. Everything else is on. Brakes are on. That's secure. That's tightened up. Don't forget about this bungee strap. It sucks when that happens. So all you want to ever do whenever you do anything like this is double check, go over everything again. Just look and go, okay, yep, I tightened that, I did that, I did this, I did this, did this. And what it does is just kind of gives you a mental checklist. You can go over it real quick, look and think of everything you touched, everything you undone, and do it again. And just kind of double check and go, yeah, okay, I did that, I did that, I did that. So sometimes, you know, it's just the odd time you're in a hurry, somebody comes to distract you. You come back to it, you move on, think you did something. So it's always looks to go, okay, yeah, done. Okay, yeah. Always just have a little mental checklist, go over top and go, all right, yep. Everything's fine. I'm happy. Okay, I'll put a zip tie on that. Secure this guy again. See, stuff like that. And let's put the little speed sensor back where it should be. Because that could come up as MOT failure, that could be loose, that should be fine, but we'll put a zip tie around that, just put it back the way it was. It was like that when I bought it, so it's nothing wrong with it. So other than that, yeah, everything looks fine. So I'm going to throw the wheel on this, and it's good for the MOT. I'm going to bring the guys up, and I'll get it rebooked in. So it was only done on Thursday, and so they should be happy because I'll bring it in. You can have a quick little look over it and give me my pass, and then be back on the road. And then probably down the road here, I won't do a video, but I'm going to check over the whole vehicle and check to see if there's anything else looks like that might be coming up that's going to need doing. I'm going to try to do videos on it before the MOT because I hate having failures. So, alright, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click the like button if you like my videos. I do try to do more of these mechanic videos, repair videos, stuff like that. I've got another one coming up on this, which should just be a quick one. Just kind of showing a product I used, which actually helped me pass my emissions, which was handy because it almost failed last year, and this year it passed with flying colors. So, yeah. So watch for that one there, and I will see you guys again. Thanks for watching.